Hey Libras, welcome to your November 2021 message for the month ahead. Um, okay, so this month, and sometimes the lesson can extend past the month, okay, Libra, but this month is whatever you're doing, you're like starting a new journey. You're like consciously, actively starting the next phase of your life, entering a new phase of your life. So when you're younger, this means going from like middle school to high school to college, or high school to whatever career you're going to pursue. But this is more for, it can be that, but it's also when you're out of that, like going from single to coupled living, going from single couple to family living and bringing a new one into the world. It's you're making like a life transition, and this is one that you're consciously making. You're like, I do want to explore and experience this next. And it looks like there's like a little trepidation there, a little bit of like a, am I sure? Okay, but the first thing you need to hear is that unless you're doing something like medical school or like law school, like a entering into a committed program where there's like a lot of debt involved, it's you can just try it on. You don't need to view it as I want to be a lawyer. Let me apply to law school and go and I that's it. I make the decision. It's all in, all out. You can just go, hey, I think I want to be a lawyer. Then maybe you can start listening to some of the listen to some of the congressional hearings. You can like Google those, or you can YouTube those. You can just start. I wonder what would it feel like to sit in those all day. Or if you're thinking about running for politics, you can start going to local city events, local city debates, local city hearings, because cities tend to have like public hearings on new laws and stuff like that. So you don't have to necessarily jump the gun and go all in on that's it. I need to run for city mayor, I need to run a campaign. You can just start Googling how to run a successful campaign. You could start Googling like what are politicians, do they actually like being a politician? What did they like? What didn't they like? See if you can find someone's memoirs. You can either find a book, you can find someone's YouTube channel. So you can like just begin to explore what it would look like. So don't let this, I feel like I have to go all in, all out. Let that trepidation go. It's a hey, this is something I want to explore. I want to explore it. I want to gain a greater sense of understanding of what it would look like to do this. Because if you have that mindset, then it's like a little fun exploration versus like a I must make sure this is right for me and all that pressure that goes along with that. I know I use example of unless you're in medical school, but that one could look like, is there a doctor in the local area that will let me shadow them? Do I have a nurse in the local area that I can ask questions to? Because then you'll bump into someone at Starbucks and you'll like see them in their scrubs and you'll be like, oh hey, can I ask what you do? Like, oh cool. Well, I was just wondering, like, I was actually just thinking about going to that field. Will you mind telling me a little bit what your day's like? Or can I ask you some questions? And then like you can just strike up conversations that way. Why don't you just make a law of attraction I'd like to understand more what this looks like, what this feels like, to see if it's right for me. So if you kind of view this new journey you want to enter into it as like it's a phase of exploration to see if I like this or not, it'll just take a lot of the pressure off and a lot of the trepidation and a lot of the I don't want to start this and then have my friends make fun of me if I don't succeed. But if you don't just tell them like, I do kind of want to explore what being like a doctor would be like. I do want to explore what is it like being a model. Then you could be like, no, I went to two fashion shows, and I did not like it. Definitely not for me. That we don't have to worry about people making fun of you for starting something and then quitting, calling you a quitter or failing. It could just be oh yeah, I did kind of explore that. Yeah, it's not quite for me. So take that pressure off. Okay. Because it definitely looks like there's a little bit of family pressure, a little bit of generational pressure, a little bit of maybe your family and parents and friends want to give you room to explore, even though they maybe think you want to. They want you to do something more traditional. Like my family was very afraid for me when I started running my own business, especially something in the life coaching spiritual realm. They're like, don't you want like a serious job or don't you want a real job? It's okay for them to want you to do something that they know is more traditional and they can more easily see how you can monetize it to take care of yourself. But it's also okay for you to, oh, I'm just going to make some videos. I just want to see how it goes. I want to see if people like my videos. You see how that can take the pressure off and not put so much pressure on you? I have to be an instant success to show them. I have to show them and prove to them that I can do this. It could just be yeah, I want to make a YouTube channel. I want to talk about fashion. Yeah, I want to like share what I've learned about feng shui to people. And then like 3 months, 6 months, a year later, however long it takes, you'll be like, dude, my channel is doing so well. I don't even need a daytime job anymore. So it's about letting yourself like kind of gently move into this next phase and gently share. It's not black or white. It's like yeah, I'm kind of having fun with this and oh my god, it's going so well. So just kind of let that like take a little bit of pressure off. We got to talk a little bit more about like the legacy of light, generational karma, family kind of karma, family pressure a little bit more. It's right because it's like I'm getting that there's a sense that you guys want to make your family proud, right? And an example I can think of right now is I'm just thinking of like, the immigrant family story where a family comes from, I don't another country to say America. And the parents like saved all their pennies, got them here. They both work like two jobs to make sure you got into good school, to make sure helped you pay your way through college. So that they can be like, hey, we did our part getting you to a country that arguably has more opportunities. What are you going to make of yourself now? And this is just example sake, guys. I'm just trying to give you an example so you could see why they'd want you to maybe do something a little bit more traditional because they're like, we went through so much to get you here. We worked so hard to help you get to where you are today. Okay. But I was just watching, I think it was like a TikTok where it was a mom. Um, it was a mom and a grandma and an aunt, and they were all going into like a beauty store, it was like Ulta. And they were like, the mom was like bouncing. She was like, my daughter has a store here, but she had a heavy accent, right? Because it was like the first generation that came to America. And when they saw their daughters, their nieces, their granddaughters display, she's like, oh, that's my daughter's. Oh, my daughter in America has her own display in a big national beauty store. Right? So there's not one path to success. There's not one path to making your family proud. You can, if you feel a sense of obligation or a sense of I want to do, maybe they are right. You can pursue more traditional routes and in the spare time go, this is my hobby. I really like to do this. And then it's like, mom, I just got a major contract with Ulta. No, we're making 20,000 a month. If you have a contract with Ulta, you're probably making more than 20,000 a month. So maybe like your parents just can't see and understand that industry, but that's kind of like the point of life, guys. You are supposed to like, I don't want to say outgrow your family, outgrow your the generations, but like my favorite example is, the first round of humans probably figured out how to start a fire. Maybe the same generation, maybe the next generation figured out how to put walls up to block the fire from wind. And then they're like, oh, well, how do we raise ourselves off the ground so we get less less bites from animals? And then there's probably like, well, how do we put a roof so that the wind and the water doesn't still come in? And they're like, okay, well, now that we have this, how do we make the flooring more comfortable? Oh, a tornado knocked this down. How do we make this more stable? So each generation is supposed to continually advance and can think of like, how can we make this more comfortable? So you are supposed to expand. You are supposed to think about things a little bit different than previous generations. But that's like the point, right? That immigrant family came here to give you more opportunities. So can you, you know, I don't say do them a good one, but can you like maybe you can do both at the same time. So I'm trying to let you know. You can pursue I'm doing a little bit more serious thing. I'm exploring this and then share like, okay, actually I don't like that. I'm so glad I was pursuing this. Or hey guys, I know that this is cool, but I just got a contract with Ulta. I'm making 60,000 a month now. Your family will be just as proud. So it is kind of that point where you have to balance making them proud with also recognizing that this is your life, with also recognizing that you have to be happy doing this? So maybe that could look like you do the doctor thing part-time because you're like, oh, this makes them happy, but I want to do this instead of full time giving the hospital your life and all your time, right? It's how do you balance wanting to make them proud, wanting to make them happy, wanting to show them that their sacrifice was worthwhile, but also recognizing that, I hate to word it this way, guys. It's definitely it's a little blunt. At some point they're gonna return to spirit world, whatever your beliefs are on that. You're gonna be the one here still living. So it is a balance though, because you don't want to be like F you parents, I don't want to do that and cut them off or anything like that, but it's a balance, and then it could lead to intimate conversations. Well, hey, can you guys tell me, like, explain a little bit more to me? What would it mean to you if I were to become a doctor, become a lawyer, to do this? What would it mean to you? And then when they say that, like, okay, well, what would it mean to you if I did that? Right? Because like, and you want to go like 7 layers. It's an exercise in the coaching industry. What would it mean to, like, what do I want to achieve? What would it mean to you? And most of the time at that level, it's something like it's very materialistic, and that's okay. We want you to make 30,000 a month and have good health care. What would that mean to you? Oh, it would mean that like I did a good job moving here. I gave you better opportunities, and that would be physical proof for it. What would it mean to you if I got better opportunities and it means that your sacrifice is worth it? Well, it would mean I did a good job. Well, what does it mean doing a good job? What does good job look like for you? Well, it just means that you could be happy because life back home, it was hard. We were walking for water. It sucked. And it would just mean that like I did a good job to provide an opportunity for my son to be happier than what I had growing up. Oh, well, mom, can I share that? Like, let me share about my fashion industry job with you. I love doing this. I love doing that. Look, here's some things that my clients say about my work. Here's what my day-to-day life is like. I love doing it. And they could be like, oh, okay, I did do a good job and you are happy. So it can lead to a much deeper, more intimate conversation, guys. Um, because okay, wow, this is getting really deep and really good. It kind of looks like this is about you being willing to receive happiness. This is about you being willing to receive a different way to view the world than your parents did, but you get to be that like bridge, right? And here's a good example for you guys. You just get to be that bridge. You get to be that I see how you guys see it, I see what you guys are thinking, but let me show you how this new thing that I discovered provides stability. Because I know some YouTubers who are making 30, 40, 50, 60,000 a month off YouTube ad revenue alone. So my mom called me one day and was like, "Kelly, I found this out. Why aren't you making a YouTube video a day? Get out there." And I was like, "Oh, what would that mean to you?" "It would mean I wouldn't have to worry about you, that you're making money." And I was like, "Oh, well, let me share how much I make. I make my money in a different way. I do life coaching. I'm not really a I create content on YouTube, but that's not my main and sole financial provider. It's from the YouTube videos. People tend to be inspired, tend to have a better life, and they want to work with me more up close and personal. It's called a life coach. They book a call with me. We just talk, see what's going on, help them gain some clarity. I help tell them what I think would help them, and then they either like that or they don't. And if they like it, many of them want to work with me in a more up close way than watching a YouTube video. She's like, "Oh, so like a therapist." I went, "Yeah, close enough analogy." She's like, "Oh, okay, I get it then." You know? So and then she's like, then it could be like, "Well, what do you like about that? Are you gonna go to school to get a license?" I'm like, "No, mom, a therapist and a coach are different. Here's what a therapist does. Here's what a coach does." And she was, "Oh, I see why people would like that. And oh, wow, Kelly, you're really good at that. I could see why you like that." I'm like, "Yeah, mom, I'm literally doing what I love. The people who I do it for love it, and I receive money for it. Like, I'm so happy." She's like, "Oh, okay, I did a good job raising you then." I was like, "Yes, you did a great job." So it's like being willing to have that, can I see it from your point of view and can I get to the core of why that's really important to you? And then can we share what's the new way to do it, right? Because then you're going to just find deeper intimacy with some of your family. And maybe not say deeper intimacy, but more understanding. So less conflict, less let's tolerate this as we go home for the holidays. Like, babe, my mom just always says this, just ignore it. It could be like well, mom, can I understand more why that's important to you? Are you and hear it, and it's like, well, would you be open to hearing why that's not important to me? Because then there could just be like a understanding instead of this like low key, low pressure, let's grin and bear it. And that's the one thing I don't like about them. Instead, it could just be hey, that is some, she values this, I value that. And just that like sense of understanding. Because wow, this card that's coming up right now that's like clarifying all that message for you, Libra, is that It is a passion, it is a calling, whatever little project that you think you wanna start doing, it is a passion, it is a calling, and this passion, this calling wants you to do it, right? Like, the only reason why I make YouTube videos is because there's people who wanna watch my YouTube videos, and if it helps you guys, like, there are other YouTube channels out there who they get, like, 20, 30, 80,000 views for a Libra horoscope video. If you look at my views aren't that high. But people email me, Kelly, it was profound. I've been following your videos and I actually do some of the exercises that you give me in the videos and my life has gotten so much better. I've went from this to that. So even though they may not sign up to work with me more in depth, as I like making these videos, there are people who like watching the videos, specifically the way I give the advice, right? I don't do advice of, are they going to call you? What are they thinking of you right now? I give a, what's going on for you and what do you need to hear to either help get it in, and also enjoy the journey more. I like helping people with that. There's people who are like that too. I don't care if this guy is the one or not. I want my husband. I don't want to sit there thinking, is he going to call me back? Is he not? Like, no. I want to know, what do I need to do? Is there any internal shifts that I need? Are there any external shifts I need to just get my husband in? I want my husband in. So I hope that helps you guys make sense that, like, it's either your unique eclectic way. Like, if you're feeling called to start a YouTube channel, you don't need to be in the mindset of, oh, look at all these other people who have so many views. It's, no, there are people out there who want the way that you would present it, your unique eclectic mix on it. Guys, because there are months that how do I say it? I go head for head for some of the top YouTube earners, but I don't make my money off YouTube ad revenue. I make it from coaching. So there's so many different hey Concha. So there's so many different ways to monetize something, to make value from it. So it's knowing that this thing that you're thinking about, just start it in a low pressure way and just think, like, if I were to be doing 1% more, what would that look like? That would look like 5 minutes a day Googling that topic. Do that for a week or two. You'll probably find a, hey, that stuck out to me. Then add 1% more. Well, now I could watch 15-minute YouTube videos a week or two and then go 1% more, just about 1% more, 1% more, 1% more. And then you'll go, oh my God, I get how to make this money. I get how to monetize this. I get how to work it. And I get how this will make me happy and my family. And then once you get that lit up passion, then you're going to be like, oh, I've got to do this. Right. So you're going to get there, Libra. I hope this takes some pressure off you, though. The little thing that you're starting to get interested in, take pressure off, just do it because what you're thinking of wants you to do it too and have success. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Actually, real quick, if you guys are interested in meeting your spirit guide and connecting more to your own, I like to call it your own soul's guidance, more to your inner being, just hearing your internal yeses and nos. I put together 2 free meditations for you guys. I'll come back and add that link in the bio. If I forget to do it, just send me an email, kelly@kellylunt.com, and be like, girl, give me your 2 free meditations. So love you guys. Have a good day. Bye.